Today's topic is StoneFly Windows Enterprise Storage Services. This is one of our latest software products that we've introduced, and I'll go through explaining what it is and what it does for everything. As far as the agenda for today's webinar, I'll have a quick overview of the company, who we are, and a couple of slides about the storage evolution, just to bring everybody up to speed of what our storage has been and where it's going. And then we talk about mainly the main topic of the webinar, which is Windows ESS, Enterprise Storage Services. And then we have a few slides about the other StoneFly products. The company overview, I don't go through the whole thing. It's just a couple of points to mention is the company was founded in 2000. So we've been around more than 10 years, 11 years. And then our product has been out in the market since June of 2002. So we've got customers that go back 8, 9 years. So this is a pretty mature product that has been around. We are one of the only remaining rare companies that are still private and has been one of the pioneers in the iSCSI SAN market. The other companies who started with us are mainly acquired by bigger companies. So let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about the storage evolution. Most of you are familiar with where storage has been, but I'll just go through a few slides. The storage in the long time ago, the way it's been, mainly each server has its own direct attached storage connected through mainly SCSI in the server, in the enterprise world. So each server has its own individual storage connected to it, and there was a separate networking for network traffic. The problem with direct attached storage was that the free storage could not be shared between all the servers. So what the industry did, it created a product called NAS, Network Attached Storage, which in this case, the NAS could be shared with all the servers. So you had the centralized storage and it was shareable. And it used actually the same infrastructure as the networking. So that was a great value that was added to the storage world. Main issue with the NAS was that it is file level transfer. And it's not a block level transfer. So you basically transfer files between the storage and the servers. So naturally, the file level transfer was and is slower than a block level transfer. And at the beginning of when the NAS was introduced, it did not support all the applications. Right now it has improved a lot and it does support a lot of applications, but there are still some specific applications that they want to deal with the raw disks, and those are the ones that we use SAN. So that's where the SAN was introduced. Initially, the SAN was fiber channel SAN, which still is actually. There are still a lot of implementation of fiber channel SAN, and it's going to continue. It did have the centralized storage, so it did solve that problem. It also had the block level transfer, which gave everybody performance that it was required. The only issue was with the fiber channel SAN, which still is its high cost. Basically, every fiber channel installation requires an HBA in the server. It also requires a fiber channel switch. It also requires a fiber channel cabling and basically the whole new infrastructure. It's not using the networking infrastructure, which is very common and very cheap. So it is, but I don't want to put down fiber channel. Fiber channel is still a viable solution, but it is not affordable for a lot of companies. That's why a lot of companies are starting to look at iSCSI. So iSCSI, which basically is also a SAN, the difference between iSCSI SAN and a fiber channel SAN is iSCSI uses the same infrastructure as the networking. Basically uses the same Ethernet cabling, Ethernet switches, and so naturally it reduces the cost a lot. There is no need for a HBA in the server, even though you can have a HBA, but 90% of the cases, people don't use HBAs because the servers are very powerful. The switches are much less expensive because of the commonality between the networking and the SAN environment. So that's basically the evolution of the storage as we are today. iSCSI market trend, this is just a chart that shows you from 2003 to 2009, the number of iSCSI target units have been skyrocketing. So, and also, along with the iSCSI market, the 10 gig Ethernet has been growing. And this chart shows the number of 10 gig server ports that have since 2006. And as you see, it has grown a lot. So again, the commonality of the networking and 10 gig for both networking and SAN reduces the cost of the infrastructure. The networking switches started a little high, but because of the quantity that it's right now both SAN, iSCSI SAN, and the networking requires, the prices are dropping very fast. So even the 10 gig is becoming affordable. So let's go ahead and now we're going to jump into Windows ESS, which is our main topic of the webinar. If there are any questions, please type in your questions. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the webinar, the main section of the webinar. Okay. Looks like there are no questions, so let's go ahead. Windows Enterprise Storage Services or Enterprise Storage Services for Windows, it's a software product that we've released. If you look at it, if I want to simplify what it is, it's basically if you have a Windows 2008 R2, which does have Hyper-V, which is a virtualization technology, you can turn that server into a Windows 2008 R2 plus ESS, which brings in all the enterprise storage services. So you can basically turn your server into both server and storage. So that is the simply description of what ESS does. You load ESS software into one of the Hyper-V virtual machines, and then you use the same hardware as an IP SAN, and then you also have your server. So it obviously takes some of the bandwidth and the CPU and the memory of the server, but it gives you an IP SAN within the same hardware. So before getting into the other slides, let me go ahead and actually show you in a real time, get into a Windows 2008, and then show you how you can create a virtual machine. Okay.